Hello, welcome to World History. I'm Mrs. Visner and I'm your teacher for this semester. The purpose of this little getting started video is to just give you a brief tour of the class to help you feel more comfortable with navigating through everything. So you'll notice here on the landing page that you have all of the announcements listed, and if you've checked your school email like you're supposed to do every day, you should have already seen these come through. So you have the info here about how to join the eAchieve History Facebook group, and then you have the welcome announcement. You can also access all of the announcements for the class for the semester right here with the announcements button. So the announcements are in two places so that you can't miss them. If I go up here and click on the Getting Started button, this is what you'll be clicking on for week one because this is the intro to the course. So you'll see the layout here is going to be repeated throughout the lessons. You'll see that it's going to list the objectives, the main ideas as we get into the content. Obviously, those are going to be content-related main ideas. And then you have your must-do section and your can-do section. So must-do, obviously, you have to do. So this week you have to explore the course, you have to check out the pace chart, the textbook, and then you have these 3 assignments here that you need to complete as part of your intro to the class. You also have a can-do section. These are extra resources. So here this week I have a couple of things: careers for history majors, why history is important. As we get into the content, again, you'll have extra videos and websites that allow you to explore the content in more depth and detail if you're interested in doing so. Have an overview here of how to navigate the textbook, and then if you continue scrolling down, you'll see those assignments that were mentioned above. So you have the quiz and the discussion board and the Day 3 World History assignment. If I go back over to these buttons, the next one here in order is the pace chart. The pace chart is your roadmap for the entire semester. All 18 weeks are laid out and are set. Nothing's going to change in terms of assignments being added or anything like that. Be sure to check out the key up here. This tells you what all those little symbols and acronyms after pace chart items mean. When you look at the pace chart, you'll notice that there is a start date and an end date for each week. All of the graded assignments for any given week are due on the second date that's listed here. So week 2 work is due on September 14th. You'll notice that there are progress report times built in, and we do get some time off for different holidays. Those are not overtly stated here on the pace chart, but if you check the dates here, you'll notice that, for example, between weeks 11 and week 12, there's a gap between the end of week 11 and the start of week 12. That's Thanksgiving break. And you'll see the same thing when you go down and take a look at winter break, right? Our last day for week 15 is the 21st, and we don't come back till January 2nd. A new feature that has been added to the pace chart this year is that it is interactive. We have clickable boxes that allow you to check off items as you complete them, and then these are saved when you're logged in, and when you come back, you'll be able to pick up right where you left off. The next button is the Live e-Sessions button. You'll notice on the pace chart that our Live e-Sessions will be on Wednesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. And when you're ready to sign into those, sign in about 5-10 minutes ahead of time just to make sure that you can get in. You don't have any technical glitches. When you click on that, Collaborate Ultra will load. You'll see it's just called Course Room, and you click on that, and then you click on Join Course Room, and then you'll be in class. All of the weekly e-sessions will be recorded. You'll see that there's not going to be a recorded link for week 1 because we don't have a class e-session in week 1. Teachers are busy running orientations for new students, and we don't get into the content of our classes until week 2. So by the end of week 2, you will see the recording from Wednesday posted right here, and that will happen every week. If you click on the course information button, there's a lot here. Please take the time to read through this carefully. You have the course description. It's going to tell you what we're going to talk about, when the e-sessions are, what the learning targets are for the class. Some of this info you'll need for the Day 1 course intro quiz, so make sure you're clicking on those. Academic honesty, netiquette, the rubrics. I will click on the grading policies folder here for you just to point out a couple of things. The top link here is the link to the school-wide grading policy. It's pretty detailed, and I would suggest that you take a look at this with a parent or guardian. just because our grading policy is a little bit different than a traditional grading policy that you may be used to. Then I have the course grading policy. So these are some things that are specific to world history that might be different from some of your other classes. So it is important for you to take a look at, like, what score do I have to earn on an assignment to earn credit? How many assignments can I skip and still pass the class? You know, all those types of questions. These types of things might vary from course to course, so it is important that you familiarize yourself with this information. If you want to find out in any class who your teacher is, you just click on the staff information button. You can see a picture, contact info, email, phone, when the e-sessions are, and a bit of background info. The pace chart, like I said, is your roadmap. It tells you what you need to do each week. Well, where do you find that? In the lessons button. You'll see that it's organized by unit. The weeks are listed for ease of navigation. So if I were to go in and click on Unit 1 and go to Week 2, again, you'll see that same layout, that familiar layout with the learning target, main ideas, your must-do things, your can-do resources. You have your assignment listed here, and that assignment can be found by scrolling down a little bit lower. You have the directions. When you fill out the charts, download them as a PDF, how do you turn them in? Very simply, you just click on the assignment name. This will take you to the assignment submission page, where you can then go to where it says Attach Files, browse My Computer, click on that, find the file, and hit Submit. You have to hit Submit in order for it to be turned in to be graded, for it to count basically. If you hit Save Draft, that just means that it's sitting here waiting for you to come back and edit, work on it before you turn it in. Sometimes your weekly assignment might be a discussion board, and those are linked directly in the lessons button, but you can also access them through this discussion board button. So if I click on that, I will see all the discussion boards for the entire semester listed here. If I click on the name of the topic, it takes me to the discussion board. Obviously, students don't have access to classes at this point, so there are no threads here. In order to start a new post, you just click Create a Thread. Scroll down, give it a nice subject, answer all the questions. You can even copy and paste these in here and then answer them below. And again, when you're done, when you're certain you're ready to go, you would hit the Submit button. One tip I like to give students is that it's always a good idea to type your discussion board responses in a Google Doc, because sometimes when you hit Submit, there might be a glitch in the Blackboard server, your internet connection, and it doesn't go through. If you don't have it saved somewhere else, you have to type the post all over again. And that's not a good use of time. So if you have it in a Google Doc, it's automatically saved in the cloud. If there's some technical issue, all you have to do is copy and paste again, no big deal. Once other students have posted, you will see a list of all of those threads, and you can click on them to read them individually and hit reply. Most discussion boards require that you reply to other students in order to earn credit. If you go to the next group of buttons here, My Grades is your gradebook for the class. You'll notice that the default setting here is all items, and it's sorted in class order. I would recommend that you leave it in this view, because all of the assignments are listed for the entire semester in chronological order. You can see when they're due, you will be able to see your grades and any feedback that I leave you. If you change the views or how they're sorted, some of these assignments can not appear, it can seem confusing. So it's better if you just leave it as is. If I click on the textbook button, this shows you the book that we're going to be using, information about how to access it. Typically, we try to make sure that your eAchieve username and password match your textbook username and password, but that doesn't always work out perfectly. So your best bet is to click here on the Student Logins app. That will take you to the Student Resource Center, where you will then be able to see all of your logins for all of your online materials for your classes. There's also a little video here about how to navigate your textbook. Everything else here, literacy tools, how-tos, world history websites, and the Student Resource Center, all good information. Again, take the time this week to click on things, just really poke around the course, figure out where everything is. That will make next week much easier for you when we actually do start reading the textbook and turning in regular assignments. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks.